everyone, and welcome to Stamp and Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Today, we're going to have fun. Tonight, I should say. We're going to have some fun because we're going to be making our own pattern paper and some ephemera pieces using our brand new colors that we just released this last month. We have 4 brand new bright and vibrant colors, and they're so beautiful together. And I thought it would be fun to make a few pattern paper pieces and maybe make a card with all of that stuff. But before we do that, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Brand new shades. Look at us. We almost match.
Almost, yeah. You might be a little rustier than me.
Hi, everybody. Welcome.
How you doing?
I am doing better than horrible. Much better.
Word of the day today?
I have a word of the day.
Yay.
I have to have a word of the day.
I know you do.
Can you imagine
No.
the uproar?
No, I can't. I just can't.
They get over it.
Oh my goodness. Well, a big shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne Loveland is in the chat and she's been working pretty much all day. So Brianne, thank you so much for being here. She's got to be exhausted. Honestly, we appreciate you, Brianne. Brianne will link any products that you see tonight. If you just ask, can I have the link? And she's also really good at just kind of knowing what I'm going to use, and she pops the link right in there as soon as she hears it. So, Brianne, thank you so much. We appreciate you. All right, so let's look at the 4 brand new colors. So here they are. Now, if you missed our release party, I talked a little bit about these colors, but one of the things that I've seen a lot in our Facebook chat is where these colors fall in our color scheme. And I think what people are really looking for is what colors work well with these colors. Let me put that back. There we go. What colors work well with these colors? So I thought it would be good for me to show you that first because we've got, a whole bunch of different greens and blues and yellows in our collection. Now this yellow is a very warm yellow. It's very bright and vibrant and it's got that super beautiful golden hue to it. So the colors where I would put this on the chart, this is the new color called Marigold. Where I would put Marigold on the chart is in between our Butterscotch, which was from our last new color release. I would put it as the darker shade of Butterscotch, and then for the lightest one, I would say Sweet Corn. Now, I'll give you a quick little sample of what those would look like together. So Sweet Corn is a very, very light yellow. It's very buttery. And then we've got Butterscotch, which is a little bit more vibrant. Let me open this here. Butterscotch. It's got a little bit more, I guess a tint more orange to it, so it's more vibrant. And then Marigold would be the most vibrant of them. So you can see how that would look together. And that's where I would put those on the scale. So if I was doing layering stencils and I wanted to do yellows, or if I was doing layered stamps, I would definitely make the new Marigold the deepest color. You can really see how they work together. Okay, and you really have to see them in person too, because it is a little bit more difficult to see over the internet. All right, now when it comes to Kelly Green, so this is our new Kelly Green. So I would put Kelly Green with Lucky Clover and with Apple Mint. Those 3 greens look so beautiful together. They're not olivey at all, like our fresh asparagus, our jelly bean, and our grass green. And they're not blue at all, like our light, medium, and dark spruce. Those are very bluish greens, kind of like pine needles. You know how you see those blue spruce trees? They've got that kind of look to them. And fresh asparagus, jelly bean green, and grass green, they're the three very olivey greens. They've got a little hint of brown in them. These are the truest greens that we have. So you can take a look at what these would look like. So we've got apple mint, and then we've got lucky clover, and then we've got Kelly green. So you can see how they look together. Three very different greens as far as, you know, they get darker as they go, but they work beautifully together. Okay, so for Petunia, let's take a look at Petunia here. So Petunia is really, really vibrant. So I would put that with bubblegum and with maybe medium carnation. You know, there's not a perfect system here because I feel like actually if I were going to put this on my rack, I would put Passionate Pink above it because Passionate Pink is this same kind of vibrant pink, but Passionate Pink has a little bit more purple. So maybe I'd put it right below it as it's heading into those purple colors. This is just a true vibrant pink. You see that? Okay. And then we've got our medium carnation, which has a lot of that reddish pink to it. And then we've got bubblegum. Now, we've got pinks in our collection that are more kind of warm pinks, like Dusty Rose and Innocent Pink. Those are very warm. They've got a lot of oranges in them. But I definitely would mix the new Petunia with medium carnation. And then I would add a little bit of bubblegum, but maybe in that bubblegum you might put a little bit of medium carnation over it, just a dusting of it, but it is a gorgeous color. It's so bright. And then this color is the trickiest color because we haven't really had a color like this. This is like an icy blue. Cadet is an icy blue, and it can go a couple different ways. I mean, look at Cadet Blue next to Emerald Coast. They're actually very pretty together, right? You've got this icy blue here, and then you've got this blue-green. So, you know, here's that. And then some Emerald Coast in there. They would look really beautiful together. However, you could also mix in a little bit of sea glass with this as a lighter color. Or you could even go with Ocean Mist that's a little bit bluer. So let me do that over here. So you can see how those two would look really pretty together, but also these two would look really pretty together. So it really depends on what look you're going for. This is just such an iced out blue, and it's a color that we've never done before. And I'll tell you, there is one more color that I really do like, and it's Moonlit Fog. And Moonlit Fog is kind of a cool color to mix in with this Cadet Blue if you were doing some two-step stamping, or even to add a little bit of this at the bottom of this if you were doing a flower. Let's say you're doing a single flower and you wanted to add something that's going to give it a little bit of depth at the bottom. A little bit of Moonlit Fog would work with this as well, because this is not a gray like this. Can you see the difference? Like this is just a gray. This has that undertone of a little bit of green like the emerald here. But then, you know, you've got the iciness of this. So if you added just a little bit of that toward the bottom of a flower, try that with a blending brush and see how that looks. Tranquil Teal, I don't know. I think Tranquil Teal, I mean, you definitely could mix them together if you want. But Tranquil Teal and then Cadet. Can you see the difference? Cadet's got so much more gray in it. It's so much icier looking. This is like the Lake Superior in the winter or something. It's just got that Nordic kind of feel to that. You can see the difference there. So hopefully that helps you see the difference in the colors, and it also gives you a little bit of an idea of where they would go, like what colors they go with, especially when you're trying to do something like using them for 3-step stenciling or 3-step stamping, 2-step stamping, some of those things. I'm going to leave all these colors out because we are going to be making some pattern paper, and we might want to do a little bit of mixing. All right, so when I make my own pattern paper, I don't make 6 by 6. I don't make 8.5 by 11. I make A2 size because I'm a card maker and I tend to use A2 the most. But if you tend to make 5 by 7s the most, then cut your paper down to 5 by 7, or at least cut it down to like 4.5 by 6.5, so that you could cut it with Master Layouts 8, or you could use one of the other die sets like Master Layouts 20 that works with a 5 by 7. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to just grab this piece of brown cardstock. It's got glue all over it, but that's okay. And I'm going to put a little, well, not yet. I'm not going to do that. First, I want to talk about background stamps. So background stamps are your ticket to making your own background paper. There are so many beautiful background stamps in our collection and in other collections out there in the world. And this is a super fun way to add some really soft texture and make your pattern paper more interesting. Now, it's easy to take pattern paper and take a small stamp set and just stamp all over it. And that looks really pretty, and sometimes I do that. But when I'm making pattern paper that I want to look like real pattern paper, one thing that you'll notice a lot in pattern papers is there's this underlying texture look that's printed behind a lot of the designs a lot of times. So I would like to use something that will give me that little bit of texture. This pin dot background is a great one. The gauze background is a great one. The beautiful patterns, you could use some of these for smaller areas, but I have other ones here. Let me find them. Put them over here. Okay, so this one, the close-knit one. And some of our background stamps, because I've been using them a lot, have sold out, but we have an order in for all of our background stamps, so they should all be coming back in really soon. These 3 are my favorite for adding the texture. It just gives it a little bit of something, the pin dot, the gauze, and the close-knit. So I always pick one of these to lay down first. So for this first design, I'll use the gauze background. And then I always like to choose a neutral for this. So depending on what colors you're going to be using, you can use a warm neutral or a cool neutral. So a warm neutral would be maybe something like Moonlit Fog because it's got that greenish undertone to it. Also, another warm neutral would be Sandy Beach or Craft. So these are great warm neutrals. Now for cool neutrals, my favorite, and I use this a lot, is Soft Stone. It's my favorite cool neutral. And then sometimes I will go into cool tones that aren't necessarily neutral, but they have a neutral feel to them, like the Light Spruce. Light Spruce is a great one. The Light Lilac is actually a really good one. Sea Glass, Ocean Mist, Apple Mint, any of these super pale colors. Lovely Lavender, let me find that. Lovely Lavender and Lemon Drop. They're all really great colors to add your texture. So I think because my favorite choice of all is always going to be Soft Stone, with my second favorite, if we're going to go really, really warm, might be either even Sweet Corn or Sandy Beach. So because a lot of these colors have a cool undertone, here's the Cadet, here is the Petunia. And here is the Kelly Green. These are all cool colors. The only one that's really a warm tone is the Marigold. I think I can get away with this gray. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this soft stone for my undercoat, my texture. So I'm going to open this stamp here. Let's make sure I have the right side. I believe I do. Okay. And I'm just going to leave it on its back. And I do have, let's see here. I do have some ink on there from the last time. So let me just clean that off real lightly. I don't know what's on there, but I think I just slapped the piece of acetate back on there and never even cleaned it the last time, which, you know, I mean, we do that sometimes, right? Okay, so I'm going to use my my soft stone ink pad. Now, if you don't like the feeling of this slipping around, you can always use a grip mat. I don't like to take the design off ever on these background stamps. Number one, it's so hard to get it back on. Number two, if you put it back on backwards, it's going to transfer the design onto your stamp and you're not going to be able to get it off. So I never worry about taking the design off. What I could do is just lay it onto my grip mat if I needed to secure it a little bit, and that will help to keep it in place like that. See, it's not going to move. But in reality, I don't even need to do that really because of the way that I like to use background stamps. Oh, also, the double grip background stamps, the double background grip mat stamps. We have two different ones. These are fantastic for, I don't know where my other one is. I have the other one I just love. It's somewhere. I used it and I put it away somewhere, but these are fantastic for adding this texture. This houndstooth design is beautiful for it. It's, again, it's a fabric design. So that's kind of what I like about the gauze, kind of what I like about the close knit. Just feels like fabric. All right, so we're going to add some soft stone here to this background stamp. And we're just going to add this light texture on here. And I always do some kind of background stamp. You can also do a stencil too if you prefer. If you have the perfect stencil for the job, something that's really tiny, you definitely can do that. So I'm going to take this piece of cardstock and I'm just going to lay it on top like that. I'm not worried if it goes all the way to the edge, because with my pattern papers that I make, I always cut them out with master layouts. The beautiful background set can be used to make a larger background. The beautiful backgrounds set. Oh, I think that's one that Debbie Warner came out with. And she does kind of line them up, and you can make a bigger background, but you will see the lines in between them. So that's really, I think that background stamp set. Are you talking about, we're talking about this one, the beautiful patterns, or because the beautiful patterns is one big background. It's just meant to have 4 designs on it. But we do have the other one that Debbie Warner came out with, and hers I like to use for grounding images. So they're a little bit smaller, and I use those more like to just ground images, have a little bit of texture behind my focal images. Okay. So now we've got that nice little background. See how that looks? And if you missed any spots, don't worry about it. Just try to find, another spot on the stamp you can add that into. It'll all dry up to the same color eventually, but I'm not worried about it because we're going to fill that all in anyway. Okay. So now I'm going to clean this background stamp, because I might want to use it again with a different color. And I'm going to try to be good and clean my stamps. Welcome, everybody. It's great to see all of you here tonight. Fun Tuesday night. I know that everybody wants to know what's happening on Thursday. And I can't give you any hints about that. I can't give you any. But I will tell you on Thursday at noon, tune in to my YouTube channel because we have a really, really fun, exciting announcement that I know you guys are going to love. Okay, now, that's all I can say. I can't say more. All right, I have this sitting out all the time because I've been using it with my spatter stamp. But I want to show you a bunch of different stamp sets that I just pulled. And one of the things that I think you're going to like about this video is, tonight's video, is I am using old stamps. I am not using new things. And I don't know, if you've watched my videos for any specific period of time, you know that is something that I really enjoy. I go back and use stamp sets over again. No, it's going to be noon Central Time, 1 Eastern Time, and that would be 10 a.m. Pacific? Is that right? I think 10 a.m. Pacific. One of the things that I like to do is use stamp sets that I've already used before. I love my stamp sets, and I love going back and reusing them. It's not gonna be a one and done with me. I'm gonna bring stuff out. I mean, this Gauze Background stamp, this came out in rubber, like when we were doing rubber stamps. We just recently converted it to clear. I'll cover that. I know that's kind of an eyesore, but I'll cover it. But that's how long this has been around. Same with a lot of these stamp sets that I keep bringing out over and over again. I love revisiting. It's not a one and done with me. So if you buy any of our kits and stuff like that, you're going to see them again. I just like to use them again. All right, now one thing I am going to do to this before I start doing the other stuff is I'm going to add spatter to this. Now, you know that there is a new small spatter stamp in our last release, but a lot of you already have the snowy background. And since I want to cover this whole piece of cardstock, I'm going to use the snowy background. And I'm going to pick one of the new colors to spatter. So we've got Cadet, we've got Petunia. Why don't we use Kelly Green? That might be fun to use Kelly Green. So I'm going to ink this up with Kelly. Get it nice and inky. And then I am going to add spatter to this background. All right, so we'll just lay that down. And I don't know where the top for this went, but that's all right. I'll just get my fingers dirty. I don't care. I'll get Kelly Green on my fingers. You'll see it smearing around on the back here as I go to the edge, but that's all right. Okay. So now we've got spatter on there. I'm actually going to be cutting this piece down anyway, so it won't really matter. But doesn't that make a difference, just having that little bit of spatter on there? Okay. So now let's add some other colors. I don't know what the heck I did. I had it in my hand and then, well, Snowy's going back in without its cover on it. It's all right. It'll still work. I'll find it. It'll turn up. Somebody will probably tell me where I put it. Now we're going to add some other things in here. So some of the stamp sets that I grabbed for tonight were this All Occasion, All at Once, All Occasion. These little designs are perfect for making pattern papers. This one, oh my goodness, Brienne, help me. What is this one called? Brienne will figure it out. I know she will. And again, she's doing it on her phone, so that's crazy. But this is a great one. Any kind of silhouette stamps are beautiful for backgrounds. This Dreams Come True is a great one, and a lot of you got this as an incentive. So a lot of these were incentive stamps. This one was an incentive stamp. This is an incentive stamp. This is Gentle Silhouettes. These butterflies would be really nice, but I would use these very, very lightly, and we'll do that on a different one. And then if you're looking for a more vintage style background, this Vintage Summer, these designs are very beautiful. Vintage Spring, you could add this butterfly in a very, very light texture. I also love the Warm Spring Wishes. This is just a cool stamp. I grabbed Winter Hugs just because I thought some of these stamps were really cute. These little twigs. They're cute. And then I also grabbed Beautiful Day because this has some cute little bits and pieces and birds and stuff. So let's go ahead and pick something more bold and florally for this. Let's go with, let's do some gentle silhouettes, and we'll do kind of a combination of that and this one here. Did Brienne find this one? Kindness Silhouettes. Thank you, Brienne. I knew she'd find it. Let's use this one. So first we'll add some of this large design. It's under the dark, oh, it is, thank you. It's under the dark pink ink pad. Thank you so much, Kathy. I appreciate it. There it is. I'll put that away. See, right on it. So let's add a little bit of Kelly Green, or let's add Cadet Blue with this. Okay, we'll add some more Cadet Blue. We'll make this one a muted pattern. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of Cadet. And I'm going to do this with a block too. And it's okay if it's not perfect. It doesn't have to be like super crisp. It can have a little texture in it. So, if, you know, it's not like you need to use the Misty. But we'll just do some light stamping on here. Like that. And do you guys remember the old basic gray pattern papers? How they had like... they had like designs that would come in from one side and then you could cut it in a really interesting way. I just think this is so fun and so pretty. Okay, let's do one upside down here, like that. So what do you guys think of this look so far? It's pretty elegant, isn't it? Like just very, very soft and lovely. Let's do this. Okay. And then we'll add a little down here. We'll put a little in there. Now this might be a perfect pattern just as it is. We might not need to add anything else, but if you want to add some other things, we could. So let's just go with that. I mean, this would be so pretty. If you saw this pattern paper at a store, you'd buy a piece, wouldn't you? You'd want to have it in your collection. You'd want to make a card or a scrapbook page with it. Let's see, is there something else we can use on this? Okay, let's try this. Let's go with this design and let's do a stamp off technique. All right, so we'll make this a lighter color of Cadet Blue. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ink it up, and then I'm going to stamp it off once on my paper, and then I'm going to stamp it. So now I've got like a lighter version of that same color. And I'm just kind of going on top. We don't have to do a lot of this, but we can just do some. Just to make it a little interesting. Aw, Sue. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're finding tonight peaceful. This is fun. I mean, this is like the stuff that I do when I don't know what to do. Now we can add a little tiny hint of another color in here. Let's bring a little more of that Kelly Green in. And I'm going to do it on this tiny stamp. I'm just using all this Kindness Silhouettes stamp set. Let's add a little bit of this in here with Kelly, because we have the Kelly Green spatter, so we might as well add a little bit of Kelly Green into the design. Just a little bit in here. A little pop of that Kelly. And I'm just turning it. You see how I'm turning it so it doesn't look too regimented, you know, like everything is going exactly in the same direction. So I've just added that little bit in there. So that to me looks really pretty, and it's just enough. Just enough, you know what I mean? Okay. So I'm going to put this one aside because we're going to make something that kind of coordinates with this, and then we'll go with some bright colors. We'll do some bright things. All right, so let's pick a different background. Let's go with the pin dot. And let's try making a pin dot background. So this is a very cool stamp. Now for this one, I am going to use Kelly again. I'm going to use Kelly green, but then I'm going to bring in some brighter colors. So let me get that other quarter sheet of cardstock that I have over here. And we'll use the Kelly green. And also, don't worry if it's straight or not. You know, if it's not perfectly straight, it's not a big deal because we're going to cut these pieces out with with dies, you know. So we would maybe cut a flag out of this, like a big Master Layouts 2 panel, that kind of thing. So don't worry like with the pin dots because they are all very lined up, that if you don't get it straight on the paper, it's not going to matter. You can straighten it out when you die cut it. All right, so now, here it is. It's really easy to lose an acetate sheet. How many of you've lost your acetate sheet when it's just laying right on your table? Okay. Alrighty. There we go. I love the texture of that. It's just, it's so cute. Deborah Warner designed this stamp. She said to me, can I make a pin dot background? I've always wanted a pin dot background. And I said, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Oh my goodness, this is the stamp I didn't know I needed, you know? We all have that one. Like the spatter one, right? Before you ever got that stamp, you probably looked at it and thought, that doesn't look that exciting to me. And then you use it and you're like, okay, there's the stamp that I didn't know that I needed. Okay. Now we can go with a different stamp set for this, but we could work one of these designs in. Let's work this smaller design in because I want my papers to kind of go together. So I want to carry something over from each one. So I've got this pretty design here, and I want to do this design. So let's do this design, but let's do it in Marigold. So we're going to add a little bit of brightness to this. And Marigold and green are great together because you can certainly mix these together with no problem. Okay, so we'll do that. Now, one thing that you might notice is when I'm stamping with a block, it's probably been a long time for a lot of us for stamping with a block. I want you to notice that when I stamp, I just let it stay there for a second, and then I pick it up. That's how you're going to get a much more solid image. If you just drop it down and pick it up right away, you don't give the ink enough time to transfer off of the clear stamp and onto your paper. So give that a try. Will you have these stamps back in? Yes, Gina, we will. We will have any of the stamps I used tonight back in stock soon. I'll check to see if anything is out of stock. But if something like this is out of stock, grab this one and use this and just do less impressions. Or grab a different one that you have that is a solid silhouette style stamp. I know we all have a lot of these kinds of stamps in our collection. Okay. Let's do a couple more. We'll fill in on the side here. And don't forget, come in from the side a little bit. You don't have to stamp everything right inside the frame. Don't worry about that kind of thing. So let's add some other things in here now. Yes, slowing down. I feel like slowing down when you're stamping and just giving it a second to transfer. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like it also like lowers my blood pressure. It just slows me down a little bit. And I like that. All right, so I'm gonna get a different stamp here. I'm gonna stop using this one now. And I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use, ooh, I know what I'm gonna do. Let me use Gentle Silhouettes. I'm gonna use this big stamp here, and I'm going to use it with a gray. I know that sounds weird, but we've got gray on the other one, so we want to tie a little bit of gray into this. And I'm going to put this on this block. Now this stamp is probably a little big for this block, so it's going to hang over the edge, but that's okay because I'm going to do this in soft stone. And this is going to be super light. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing. All right, and we're going to just let it dry. But you see, once you get like more images on top, it starts to look like a thing, right? It starts to feel better. Don't worry about that. I'm not gonna. Just remember, we're cutting this out. We're putting stuff on top of it. And these colors are so pretty together. Let's go this way. The yellows and the grays are just a knockout together. You wouldn't think that they would work, but they really do. How's everybody doing out there? Are we slowing down and feeling relaxed? This is one of the things that I like too, because when I do a little tiny bit of scrapbooking, and when I scrapbook, I do small. I don't do big scrapbook pages. I do little scrapbook pages, just tiny, like 3 or 4 little pictures. And I like to coordinate my pattern papers with what the people in the pictures are wearing. So for example, let's say I have a picture of Rena and she's wearing a bright yellow hat. I could add that little splash of bright yellow to match her hat, and it enables me to make it exactly the way I want so that the pattern paper isn't overpowering the design or the picture, and the picture is, you know, it's just accenting the picture a little bit. So that's really pretty, isn't it? I really like that color combination. Now we could do a little pop of pink on here, but let's do a bright, vibrant pink one, okay? So I'm going to put this one aside, although I feel like I could fill in a little bit more. Could maybe use a little spatter on here. Oh, you know what would be nice? Let me get the spatter stamp from our recent kit. There's also another spatter stamp that I want to remind you about if you have this stamp set. Let me see if I have it over here. Here it is. So Thoughtful Flowers has a little bit of a spatter. It's a little bit of a messier spatter, but if you have Thoughtful Flowers in your collection, you can use this as a spatter stamp too. And let me show you how pretty adding a pop of black looks, especially when you're doing a spatter design. So we'll add this spatter stamp. The other one's bigger and it's more spread out, but this little spatter stamp I think will look really cute on this particular combination of colors. a little bit. I think that that's really pretty. It just looks like, it makes it a little messy, right? All right, so I'm going to put that aside. I do like the black with the gray and the yellow. I really like that together. Okay, we're going to make a couple more different patterns because I want to do one with the pinks and the greens and the yellows. And I want to do something bright and fun with those. So let's put this back so we don't lose it. And we could do something with this too. Let's try making just a pattern first, and then we can decide what texture we want to put on top. So we'll go the opposite way. We'll do a pattern with flowers and leaves, and then we'll use gentle silhouettes because we need to do some flowery things. So let's do this small flower, and we'll do a few of those with Petunia. So where's my small block? I need a smaller block than this. I have one. This is our tiny block. If you guys haven't tried our comfort blocks, they really are very comfortable, and you can see they've got like a little dent in them. Really nice for your hand to hold on to. Okay, so I'm gonna do this kind of 5 pattern. When I say 5, it's going to look like a playing card that has a 5 on it, like this. And I am turning the stamp a little bit so that the petals aren't exactly in the same position. Okay, and we'll let that sit for a second. Then let's do one more flower from this set. We'll do this, and let's do it in Marigold. Okay. So this is a background paper too, and remember with these lighter colors especially, just giving it a second to sit, to transfer. You're going to get a better transfer that way. I'm going to go in the in-betweens. All right. I might come back to some of these designs. We'll see. Now let's add some greenery. So we could use, oh gosh, there's so much here. Let's use Dreams Come True. And you see how I'm just like, I'm plucking. I'm just plucking stamps. Nothing really matches. Nothing really goes together. It doesn't really matter. All of this will end up being in the background behind some focal image that I do, right? So it doesn't really matter that much if they're all the same or if they're a little bit different. And when I say the same or different, like this one's a little more of a grungy looking stamp, where these are a little bit more crisp and clean. It's not going to matter. So we're going to add greenery in here. Now it's not going to stay quite this like pristine because we're going to start stamping over other things in a little bit. But I want to get a bunch of green stuff in here. All right, a couple more. And remember, we're cutting this out. You're always going to be cutting these out using dies or your paper cutter. So you're going to cut the edges off. So don't worry if it's like perfectly aligned around the edges or anything like that. Most of the time, you're just going to be kind of trimming it down to the size that you want. I'm just going to continue to turn this. Okay. Now let's add something crazy. Okay, I'm going to find a stamp in this collection here that is more of an open line kind of stamp. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. So I've got a couple different bigger stamp sets over here. I want to use Delicate Flowers. That's the one I'm looking for. So Brienne, I'm giving you a heads up. Here we go. All right. So see this stamp? I want to add this stamp onto here. I know that doesn't seem to really match, but I think it's going to look cool. So we're going to add this in Cadet Blue, and we're going to do a couple of these on top of it all. So we'll do Cadet Blue, and this is an outline stamp. So this is, I have something on here I got to get off, or that's going to mess up my design. But this is an outline stamp. Now you can color this in with the coloring stencil too if you wanted to add more color with it. But I think it's going to look kind of cool just stamped plain like that. Oh, I missed, but that's okay. It's all right. Let me get whatever that is off of there. And then I'll just put a little more pressure on that. Like that. Do one down here. And if you're worried, like I've got, I don't know why this stamp, probably because I'm used to using it with my Misty, so I've never seen that before, but this stamp requires a little bit more pressure. But that's all right. Now let's see what other stamp we can use. Now we need a more solid stamp in there. So we can go back to this Dreams Come True and use this more solid stamp. I think this one will fill it in really nicely. And we can do some more Cadet Blue with this one so that we get more of that color and not just that outline. But I love having that little bit of an outline in there.
A couple quick questions.
Yes.
Patty wants to know which stamp sets have spatter stamps in them.
Delicate Flowers. No, not Delicate Flowers. Thoughtful Flowers. Seasonal Patterns and Phrases, and the Snowy Background. They're the only ones that have a spatter stamp that I'm aware of. Although I shouldn't say that because Lisa Hetrick may have a spatter stamp in one of her sets. So you'd have to look at her sets. I only know my sets, which ones I've put them in. Oh, I'm really liking the way this is looking. Just adding that Cadet Blue.
And Laura wants to know, do you have A2 size white cardstock that is pre-cut besides what used to be an incentive?
We do. We've got our Artist's Choice cardstock that you can get in an A2 size, so check that out. And I'm not sure off the top of my head what else we have, so you'd have to go onto the website and type in A2 cardstock and see what comes up. All right, so I'm really digging this. I like the way this looks. I want to put one more thing in there. I want to add a little bit more pink, another little pop of pink. And I feel like I should use maybe some leaves. So maybe I will go back to this one and add a few of these leaves in here. So this is the Kindness Silhouettes. And I'm only using this because it's here, because it's out. It doesn't have a die set that works with it or anything. So if you have any other silhouette stamps, but I'm going to add a little bit more just for a few more pops of pink.
Question from Kathy. Do you recommend storing ink pads upside down to keep ink at the top of the pad, or does it not matter?
It does not matter with our ink. I know that some inks, they tell you to do that, but it does not matter with our ink. Okay, I feel like this is exactly what I needed. I needed just a little fill in here. of some extra pink. And this is just like one of those floral frenzy kind of background papers that I see when I look at what people make. I see this as actual paper. Okay.
I want a vacation shirt like that.
I know, it's so fun, isn't it? So we've got this. Now, I could put a little texture on that, and I think I will. I think I'm going to put a little texture on this one. And maybe I will do that with that sweater pattern. And maybe I will use, should I be brave and use like Sandy Beach? Use a little Sandy Beach. Or I could even use like a little sweet corn behind there. Maybe I'll do that. I'll use sweet corn. That'll be super soft. And hopefully I clean this stamp. This stamp is hard for me because I've used it with such stainy ink colors that I never know if it's clean. And I never remember if I cleaned it. But, okay. I think everybody's so intent on watching. We've also got people coming in from Facebook too, so we appreciate you guys all coming tonight. We know it's been a crazy long day, so thank you for being here. All right, so this is sweet corn now. This is just going to give me texture over the whole thing. So here we go. Wish me luck. I feel like this is going to make a difference for it. Okay. Doesn't that just change it up? It just finishes it a little bit, right? The texture just yeah, Patty, it ties it together exactly. And that yellow is cool because, you know, you've got, every one of these colors is fine with yellow. So I like that a lot. That's really pretty. Okay. So let's make a little bit of ephemera to go with one of these. And let's make one more background paper. So let's take this same paper and let's make a Cadet Blue background paper. All right. Let's just make a Cadet Blue sweater pattern background paper. All right, here we go. I feel like you can never go wrong with Cadet Blue. I think it's my new favorite blue. And I know, you know me with like teals and stuff, but there's something so pretty about the iciness of this color. That is so pretty. And that looks so pretty with that. That would be a really pretty combination. Now we can add something else on here to pull in a tiny bit of that yellow. Now, I know it's not going to be real obvious, but we're going to add a little bit of the yellow in there. I feel like we need to. And I'll make something crazy out of this one. I'm going to make something out of two of them. We'll see. Okay. Let's add the snowy background. We'll add a little bit of yellow spatter in there. See if it shows up. I think maybe the Kelly green spatter might be better. Let's do... No, we can add both. Let's add the Marigold first. So we'll get some Marigold in there. Just a little hint of yellow poking through. I think that'll make a difference. Just a little bit in there. And then we're going to go over that. We're going to just turn it. And then we're going to go over it with Kelly green. I know I didn't clean it, but that's okay. I am messy. Okay, so I did this side. You can see it's a little heavier with the yellow, so I'm just going to flip it, and this is the heavier side of the stamp. And I'm going to flip it so the green will be heavier on the opposite side. There. So that just makes it a little bit messy, and we've got a little bit of that Kelly in there, a little bit of the yellow. You know what? Let's put Petunia in there. Why not? We'll put Petunia in there. I think it's going to make a difference in the finished card. I really do. We'll have all three colors mixed in this one card. And we'll just turn it in a different direction. And we'll pop that on there. Just a little Petunia. All right, so now we've got all the colors in there. That really feels like a cable knit sweater, especially with all the different color dots in there. And then I feel like it's going to match really well with this. Okay, isn't that fun? Doesn't that just feel like... I feel like I've had a sweater like that before. You like that, Tom?
I do. That can go with my vacation shirt.
Yeah, it would go with your vacation. Well, you know, if you have your wild, fun vacation shirt, and then at nighttime it gets a little cold, you could just throw your cable knit sweater on top.
Perfect.
Yeah, tweed sweater. Exactly. That's what it looks like, Mary. A tweed sweater. I don't know my fabrics, but thank goodness you do. Okay, so I think it'd be fun to stick with this Dreams Come True, since we have flowers that will match and we can make some ephemera that will go with it. So let's just stamp up a couple pieces of paper here. I used all my white paper, so I'll cut one more quick piece. And this we could do in the Misty if we wanted to. Why not? Let's do it. Let's put it in the Misty. This way we could stamp a few things at a time. So I'm going to put my grip mat back into my Misty. And then we'll stick this paper right in here. There we go. Now we'll pick a couple of these flowers. Let's go with this one. Let's stamp a couple of these. So we're going to stamp Petunia, which will be a beautiful... Yes, we are going to have a word of the day. Tom, don't go too far. Tom just left. I think he went to either cut down the heat because I was freezing. I'm just going to put my finger here so that I know where that is. And I'm going to just turn the cardstock so I don't have to reposition the stamp. I want to do a couple of these. Don't go too far, Tom. They're asking for the word of the day while I'm stamping all of these flowers and greenery. He has to, like, put all his gear back on so he can hear and see and all of that.
All right, tonight's word of the day.
Yeah. And I'm just going to be stamping greenery here, so don't mind me.
Okay, so have you ever bought something, purchased something that was supposed to be unbreakable, like a set of bar glasses, or I don't know, something that just, that was a great feature, only to take it home and break one that night? So that's an example of indestructible. Or Unbreakable. Similarly, if you've ever dealt with the IRS
Oh no.
or insurance companies, you always have to deal with the deductible. Great fun. Words of the day, back to the dead space.
That's my bull in a china shop over there. That's funny. Those are good words.
Did another trip to IKEA this weekend.
Yes, we did.
Great fun at IKEA.
Oh, you know, I have a little too much fun at IKEA. I'm going to do one yellow flower. I have way too much fun at IKEA. I'm doing a marigold flower here.
It's such, for someone who, like me, has a thing for words, it's a wonderful place. And
Oh my gosh.
we try to actually use the words that of the things that we buy. You know, like, can you please pass the ooplaga? And while you're at it, the grin sop.
We had to go back through the store again because we forgot something. We didn't know what something was called, and when we got to the checkout area, we forgot. And I'll tell you, it's pretty easy to get lost. I have friends that tell me that they get nervous in IKEA because they feel like they're just trapped, that they can't get out. Does anybody else feel that way? I don't. I'd like to get trapped in an IKEA, actually. I think it would be a great place to live. They've got great food. They've got beautiful furniture. I'd be happy to pick one of the bedrooms. They're very comfortable, and I'm good to go. They have craft rooms. I mean, come on.
But if I trip on that Klompenborg one more time, I'm going out the Fonsterblad.
Tom, your words. What if you're saying naughty words? You don't know what you're saying.
No, I think they're the same as ours. I don't know.
The words are the same?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to die cut a few of these things that I just made. And I'm going to use my magnetic plate for this, since these are all coordinated. This will help everything stay in place a little bit better. Alrighty. So let's cut these out. I do have 2 of these to cut. I better have all the dies. I didn't check that first. You know, I tend to throw my dies away sometimes, not on purpose, but I've done it. I've done it right here on the show, and I guess nobody caught that I didn't untape it. I had them all taped on, and then I just threw the die away with the tape on it. But, you know, I guess there are worse things that can happen, but that is frustrating. So I'm going to cut these. Marcia doesn't like IKEA. Linda loves it, but she's always worried she won't find a bathroom. Seriously, I feel that. When I see the bathroom at IKEA, I go. Even if I don't have to go, I go, because you never know when another one is coming, or if another one is coming. You might never see one again. Okay, so I'm cutting out. I decided to go with 3 different color flowers for this when Tom was trying to say his Swedish words. So I've got a yellow flower, a cadet blue, a marigold flower, a cadet blue flower. Look at my fingers. I've got the same tweed pattern, the tweed sweater pattern on me. and then some Kelly green leaves. And then I'm going to cut one of these Petunia flowers, and I'm going to cut the other green leaves. I'm going to stick with the greenery. I was going to do cobalt for the greenery, but I think now that I did those 3 colors for flowers, we'll do all the leaves, all the greenery in the Kelly.
Oh, and by the way, if a big environmental project turns out to be not as great as they originally thought, that would be sustainable.
Guys, he's not stopping. He's going to keep going. As he thinks of them, he's going to keep adding them. I know it.
Gina's researching that kill switch for the dead space.
I am. No, it wouldn't be the same without you. And it's even more fun when it's not a word of the day sometimes and it just comes out, because some of the words that you've said lately have been really funny. All right, I'm going to grab some Master Layouts dies here. So I think I'm going to go with Master Layouts 4 and Master Layouts 4 would be good, but also Master Layouts 13 would be really cool. So I'm going to just take those 2 out. And then I also have Master Layouts 1. So let's see what we can do with this pattern paper now. What kind of layout we can create. So let's start with Master Layouts 2. I'm going to find the big dies from Master Layouts 2. And I'm going to use my other plate set, because with the bigger dies, I prefer to use this plate set, just so that I don't warp my magnetic plate quite so quickly. And then this is the one I was telling you, like when it's a pattern like this, even if you didn't get it on there straight, you can line it up so it's more straight when you actually die cut it. So I'm going to put this here. Let me see if I have any more masking magic close by. All right, I don't, so we'll hope for the best. I'm going to hope for the best. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do with these patterns just yet. So I'm going to start with this Master Layouts 2, and we'll see how this looks. Let me give that another push through. I think I had this loosened up for something else, so I'll just flip it over and we'll hope for the best. If not, I have a plan B. I always have a plan B. Yes, this paper could be called Sweater Weather. You're right. It does look like sweater weather. Okay, so that has the little stitching around it. It's hard to see because it is very bright and vibrant. All right, maybe it's something to do with Rena and Brian's special day. Oh, are you talking about what's going to be announced on Thursday? Nope, nothing to do with Rena and Brian. Nope, nope, nope. This is for all of us. We are going to have so much fun. That's all I can say. We're going to have so much fun. So get ready, because we're going to have a lot of fun. So I happen to have one here already cut, so I'm going to go with that. So there's Master Layouts 2. Now, for this floral paper, I was thinking of doing something a little bit different, like just using a small piece of it. Let's see what I have in here. What I have from Master Layouts 4. I don't know how big this one is. I think this will be good. Although it might be a little small. That's going to be a little small piece of pattern paper. I don't know that I want to just do something that small. Although it is a way to show you how you could get a lot of different cards out of this. We could do that. Let's do it. Let's just do it. All right. Let's do it. I know it's very small, but I'm going to take a little piece here that has like all the different colors in it. Just find the right spot. I want to get everything in there. There we go. I know it's small. Although, before I jump the gun here, I wonder if I could do like a little... No, I'm going to do what I'm thinking. I'm going to do what I'm thinking. See how it looks. We'll just see how it looks. And it's okay if you're not here for it. Don't worry. It will be okay. That's all I could say. It will be okay. Just as soon as you can watch. Because we're going to have a lot of fun together. And we want everybody to be part of it. Because I just think... I think we all deserve it. I really do. I think we all deserve some fun and some relaxation and something fun that we can do together and for very, very, very many days. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Alrighty, now, where did I put that piece? So, my thought was to have this little flag like this. And then to have this piece, like this, and have this here, and then I'm going to do a circle to kind of make it like an award almost. So let me find my circle dies. I do see them. They are up here. Let me grab those out of here. Well... maybe they're not there. Maybe they're over here. Okay. So I have my double stitched and my single stitched circles. So let's do a big circle like that size. And then we'll need a black one. So I'm going to use the single stitched for the black one.
No, Michelle, Tom is not making a card on Thursday.
Nope.
Gina said something fun.
Well, that is fun, Tom. When you make a card, it is very fun. Very, very fun. It's always fun when you make a card. So that's the double stitch circle. And now we're going to cut one single stitched circle so we have the black outline for that too.
Yes, fruit salad for lunch on Thursday sounds very good.
Oh, that does sound nice, huh? I almost went off the paper. Look how close to the edge. This is how thin, again, that I was today. That's how close to going off the edge I was today. Right, Tom?
Yeah.
I was pretty close to the edge today. We have those days, right? We all have those days. Okay, now let's do a fun colored card base for this. Should we go with the Marigold to really brighten it up? Let's just see what this is going to look like. So here's my plan. I want to have this down here. I am going to have to do a greeting, but I have a greeting that might work. And then I'm going to put this here like this. And then I'm going to do my flowers in here like this with my bright green. Let's do that. And then we'll add some more greenery over here. Like that. And then we can add our greetings. So I've got some greetings pre-printed over here, cut out already. We can make this into a really pretty birthday card. So should we go with the yellow? Should we go with the... my my stamp sets are falling. Let's look at the different colors that we could go with here. We could go with the yellow. We could go with the pink. That looks really pretty. We could go with the green. I feel like that's a lot of green. Or we can go with the cadet. But I feel like there's a lot of cadet going on there. So I think either the pink or the yellow. The pink does bring out the pink in the flowers. But there's something about the yellow that's so pretty. That just brings that yellow flower out. Should we do a happy yellow flower card, Tom? I know you love yellow.
I think so.
Okay. We'll do it for Tom. We'll do yellow for Tom. Just because Tom loves yellow and he loves orange. They're his two favorite colors. So
but you're in charge, so you do whatever hue.
Hue? Whatever hue I want. Well, I do not even know where my scoreboard went. It's under the piles here.
You do hue.
Let's do the yellow for Tom. There's no orange in these cards, so Tom, I'm giving you the next best thing. I'm giving you yellow. I love this yellow. It's so vibrant. Okay. So now let's assemble this card. It's very fun, bright, and busy. But I do love the tweed look.
Careful not to assemble it.
Oh no. That's a really pretty pattern right there. It does really feel like a tweed sweater. It would be nice if I put it on straight. There we go. That's better. And then this little bit of floral design here. We don't need a lot. It's a busy design and we don't need a lot, but it's kind of fun to have something going. And I love this Master Layout set. This one was Master Layouts 4. And we can put that right onto the paper. And then we can pop the circle up to get that fairly centered. Is that centered? I think it could go over just a little bit. Okay. And then we'll adhere these two together. Tom, did you hear Mercury is in shadow grade? Have you heard that term before?
I have not.
Well, I just heard it today. Because I always heard retrograde. But shadow grade is the period of time right before a retrograde.
Can we get a grade that helps?
No. We can't. It's not available. There's no grade that helps. Oh my goodness. I think the yellow brings out the colors too. I see more of the yellow like dots in here with that yellow background. All right, and then that's going to go right there like that. Okay. And now we can pop these flowers up, which will be fun. I'm just using our foam squares to pop them up. We can go off the circle a little bit. Yeah, Carol needs a passing grade. Grading on the curve is helpful. Oh my gosh. I'm here for the comments. I'm not even here for the card making anymore. You'll have to upgrade for that. Oh, I love it. Everybody's so funny. All right, and so the greenery I'm just going to put in like right behind it, but right onto that circle. I'm not going to pop it up. I'm going to trim this down. I don't want it up quite that high. So I'll just trim it down a little bit like that. Oh man, you guys are so funny. You're the best. You made my day. I needed this tonight. I don't know if you guys did, but I did. I needed this tonight so much. There we go. So it's so fun to make your own pattern paper. I think we're going to come out with some new textures too. Some new background stamp textures in 2026. Because I use them all the time, and it is fun to have something new. Now, we could put the happy birthday there. You could also, if you had more flowers, you could put it down here on this flag that comes down, but we'll put it over here. We'll just put it off to the side a little bit. Put it down there like that, and then we'll add a couple little quick embellishments. So I'm just going to pop up this part right here, that, and right under that D. And then the rest of this, on this side, I'm just going to put tape runner. That was the very last bit of tape runner I had, too. I just ran out. Perfect timing. So I'll put this down here. And that kind of will hold everything together there. And then we'll add just a couple little embellishments to this. So maybe a few little gold pearls would be cute. Let's see if we have some babies here that we can put on there. With all that yellow, I think gold would be a good color. Do one there. Maybe. Let's just put those two on first. Do one there. And do we have one size up? What's this? Is this a size up? No, but I like the shine on that one. I'll do one more right there. Might as well. Just to fill in that little spot. There we go. Kind of like a little curve around it, kind of accenting the flow of the design a bit. All right. I think that was fun. Now I want to use these for other things. I really do. I feel like they're beautiful designs, and I feel like we definitely could use them for other things. But I also felt like these two patterns worked really well together because they both had that same background texture and the same exact color combinations. But all I have to do is create some ephemera that's just yellow and a little bit gray. I do love that gray and the black together too. So lots of different ways that you can make your own pattern papers. And the ephemera is just stamps and cutting them out with the dies. That's all ephemera is. You can buy bags of ephemera already pre-cut, or you can make your own specifically to match exactly what is in your pattern papers. So that was fun. That was relaxing. I enjoyed making these tonight, and I hope that you enjoyed it too. Now, if you are new to Gina K Designs, we would love it if you would give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. That would be great. And if you are not a subscriber, come on and subscribe to the channel. Hit all notifications and you'll never miss another video. And then we'd love to have you in our Facebook group, so come on over and join us. The Facebook group is called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. We've got about 49,000 members over there that share all of their Gina K Designs projects, and you can find lots of fun inspiration. And then another big shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne, thank you so much for linking everything tonight. If you missed any of Brianne's links, you can find everything that I used tonight in these pattern papers and ephemera on our website at ginakdesigns.com. And anything that's out of stock, you can just click the Notify Me button and it'll ask you to put your email in. And as soon as it comes back in stock, you'll get an email and you can decide if you want it then. Well, we got to give away a gift card tonight, Tom. Let's give away a gift card.
Here we go. Drum roll. Tonight's winner is Paulette Vetter. Paulette Vetter.
Yay, Paulette. Congratulations. Paulette, you are our winner, and you get a $15 Gina K Designs gift card. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and we will get that out to you. Now, don't forget, set your alarm for 12 noon Eastern time for Thursday, because we have a big surprise coming. Central time. What did I say, Eastern?
Yes.
Oh, 12 noon Central time. Sorry about that. 12 noon Central time. Actually, I'm going to post the graphic for the video, and it will show up in your time zone. So whatever time it says under the video on YouTube, when you see it, that's the time we're going to go live. We've got a huge surprise, something that I think everybody's going to love. And I think it's going to be really fun because since we didn't do a kit in October, and we're not doing a kit in November, and we're not doing a kit in December, this is something that we can all enjoy together. And I think you're going to love it. So make sure you join us Thursday. I can't wait to share. Until then, everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us. Stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.